What do I think is going to happen today? Going into, obviously we have CPI this week. Tomorrow, we had PPI today, obviously. The data came out showing that a lower number. The PPI index measures the change in product of goods sold by manufacturers. Lower expected rating should be taken as negative for the dollar. So after every single PPI popped hot until about 2022, it's been a mixed bag, and now we're back in the negative category. Other than that, though, stuff doesn't really matter. I think yesterday proved that nothing matters. Hold on, can y'all hear me? Yeah, Discord's doing some weird stuff, man. I think yesterday proved that nothing matters because the market rallied and did all this crazy stuff and all the amazing numbers the past 2 years, and the yesterday proved to us that all those numbers are garbage. So, what does that say about the moves associated with those false numbers? It's crazy stuff. Anyway, here's the market open right here. We have a nice little red candle to come back off. Again, of course, y'all know what I'm going to do, the 3 C's. We have the settlement low, or the imbalance low, which is 23925 on NASDAQ from PPI low, and we've got 6358 on ES, which is a little, 6538, I'm sorry, which is about 8 points down on ES. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Nice little red move coming back over. Beautiful stuff into that area. Maybe another couple of points. We'll see if we can get us a nice green move. Everything's priced in? Yeah. I still am in the ballpark that I think we're going to go higher before we have any kind of red into CPI next week. I think next week will be red. I think there's a very good chance next week is red, but I think still this week we're going to test the upper bounds of patience, especially for those who are short selling, in my opinion. Top wick coming back over. Hold on, I did use the wrong chart there. There you go. Isn't CPI tomorrow? It is. Yep. But next week's FOMC, OPEX, and VIXpiration. And VIXpiration mainly is the reason why I think that they're going to wait to follow this market until next week. Keep an eye on the imbalance lows from PPI. That was a big, big liquidity zone. It's also where the market pinned for about an hour and a half prior, 3 hours actually, prior to the news event, which will be 23,927 and 6538 on ES. Gold is back and forth in a range into the evening. Oil once again testing out the 63 range and rejected off those prior highs. Platinum doing its thing. Platinum had a beautiful 3C bounce yesterday. If you caught the 3C right at the stream, we had extremely high volume. That is textbook as 3Cs get on Platinum yesterday. High volume come in. We tapped off 1361 and it went up to 1376 and stayed there until, I mean, heck, it's still up. So you'd still be positive if you took that trade. So 3Cs continue to work even on other than S&P names. Apple's getting crushed. Yep. That's what happens when, for some reason, they're infatuated with thinness. Does the public actually say, I want a thinner and thinner phone until eventually it's going to just shatter when I put it in my pocket? Apparently so. Zero innovation. All they care about is thinness and cameras. It's annoying when you don't take a trade because of your rules and it works out beautifully. However, rules are life. Here's my thought about that, Math. That happens to me all the time. My system has become so reliable, and my edge is becoming so reliable that I'm missing a lot more moves than I'm actually taking. My moves are set up, and I identify them, and it works out perfectly, and I don't take it, and that's okay, because I'm not here to catch every single move. I'm just here to drive an edge on when I need to, which tells me my system is doing the right thing. It's identifying the proper moves, and that's okay. You forgot that they love new colors, yeah. You want to talk on air? Yeah, tell me about it. Right now we have put buying, call, or put selling, call buying. So a positive market, and of course they're buying this right on back up. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. Part of that process is to kill the annoyed feeling. I'm going to send you all a YouTube video, which is not, it's not a great video. It's not like it's an amazing video, but I want you all to watch it. Even though it's the same crap that I talk about, maybe hearing it from a different person, you'll believe it. And it's from Trader Kane, who talks about the reason why y'all suck at prop firm trading. And to summarize, it's because y'all are going about prop firm trading, not y'all's objective, in a very different way, in the incorrect way. It's about taking the money out. It's about driving an edge. And if you don't have an edge, you're not going to be able to scale up. You're not going to be able to take out consistent profits. And all you're going to do is just keep on pulling the slot machine lever. That's it. So I'll show you the video link in a bit. Nice little bounce here. 10-point bounce on ES. NASDAQ is not quite as strong as the S&P right now. NVIDIA is up almost 4%. Massive green on NVIDIA. Apple's getting wrecked. Amazon, Meta, Google all getting wrecked. It appears Apple or NVIDIA is the single chain of failure here. I never understood the appeal of it. It seems like you're adding rules to make something really hard. It's about scalability. That's all prop firms are. Or if you just don't have any money to yourself, it's a good way to make money. It's about scaling up, leverage. If you can have 20 accounts pulling in $500 a day, I mean, you could do the math on that, whereas your own individual account is obviously one-to-one. Now, yes, prop firms is very much harder than trading your own personal account, but that's the whole goal. The whole goal is to create your own personal account and get away from props altogether. That's the goal. We're seeing extraordinary call buying here. Already we've rocketed to 440 million in calls, and they're selling puts. We're positive delta on puts. So, yeah. Tilt indicators 64% long. VIX still plummeting. Let's see, platinum is still defending 1400. RTY is coming up and rolling over. Gold is still flying. No 3C indication there yet. Oil has oil inventories today, so keep an eye on oil. We could have a shaken and bacon move. Also, in addition, if you're trading TPT, crude oil inventories is a prohibited news event on CL, not on ES. Be advised. I have Apple calls. Sorry, this is my fault. It happens. No liquidity below on NAS. Everything's been higher. So this cat has come back on, and there has been a phenomenal amount of liquidity higher, and none of it is filled. Every time we get close to it, he moves it or takes it off. It's very weird. So, and now they've got 1,500 orders up at 24/7. So collectively, over the past couple of weeks, this has been the most liquidity shift I've seen on NASDAQ ever. I've never seen 1,500 orders, 1,000 orders every single day, and they just move it around the second you get close to it. So keep an eye on it. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to bait people higher, but it keeps on going to those levels, though. That's the thing. It's like they keep on moving the target higher, and it keeps going up there. So maybe they are trying to bait people, but it's working. It's going up. Now the bottom wick here still hasn't filled the PPI low yet. Look what they just did as well. 50 Fibonacci right there. Right off of it. Top wick. Keeps on happening, man. Keeps on happening. 938 is 927. That's another 10 points. After that, we'll look for settlement low, which will be 874, which I will buy the crap out of it. No shorting for me, people. No shorting for me. Not saying there's not a short opportunity here. I am not shorting. What's up, Zuelas? John here. How you doing? Good morning. Bottom wick. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. New low. So question about TPT. How does it work when you pass your eval? Does it remain the same? You can start withdrawing, or does it reset to 0 again? When you pass your eval, you're provided with a funded account, and you start at 0 on the funded account. You don't carry over your eval funds. I don't think there's a prop out there that does that, if that's what you're asking. So you start an eval account, and then you have to build your buffer, and anything over the buffer is you can withdraw every day. So on the 150K accounts, it's what? I think it's a $4,500 buffer. So if you make 4,500, anything over that, you can withdraw every day. So if you make 500 bucks every day after that, you can take out $500 every day. That's the beauty of TPT, is that once you build that buffer and you get away from the trailing drawdown, TPT is unbeatable. It's the best prop firm out there, period, once you get away from the trailing drawdown. If it wasn't for the trailing drawdown, it would be better than Top Step, period. But that brings it below Top Step. All right, so this thing still looks like it's going to absorb and go lower. I have no high volume bottom wick here. We have some bottom wicks, but this is not high volume. So this appears it wants to go lower for now. Now, I'm not shorting. I'm only looking to buy the dip as per the strategy the past 3 months, 2 months. But y'all do what you need to do. I will look to buy into possibly the settlement low, or even down here in 882, which is not quite settlement low. Or the second I see an incredibly high volume spike. NVIDIA is up 4.5%. I don't know what's going on with NVIDIA, but man, they are rocketing. They are rocketing. So if I have a 50K and the target's 3K, anything over that becomes withdrawable. So that's affirmative. Yep. That's affirmative. And you lock your drawdown too. So anything over 3K, you're going to lock your drawdown. So you have to make a decision. Do you want to take the daily drawdowns and leave the drawdown, leave the 3K, or do you want to start building a buffer? I'm not really too big of a fan of building too big of a buffer, because I'm in the process of taking the money out. It's tough not to get greedy and want to short the dip. I'll buy and I'll eventually buy. Yeah, it is, but I just tell myself, look at my track record. Look at the track record, the past 3 months. And all I have to do is wait to buy the dip, and I'm gonna get paid. That's all I got to do. So that soothes my mind very quickly. What does the account breaker become? The 3K line? No, it's 0. It locks at 0 once that happens. But the drawdown stops to trail at 3K. What's up, Will? Salim, good morning. New low of the day right here, still coming down. No high volume spike whatsoever, so you have to remain at least a short bias right here, a bear bias for now. There's no high volume dip. What's up, NTG? Good morning. Numbers don't lie. That's right. Like right now on my live account, I'm up 1,400. I could either continue to trade, or I could lock it up and take that money out. I mean, it's too easy. You have so many options with the daily payouts. It's like real money. It's like a real broker. It's the closest thing to the real brokerage account that you can get in a prop firm. This is how they get you. Anyone waits to buy the dip and they keep slamming it. Well, that's why you need volume, Lowen. That's why you need volume. If you're going to blindly try to buy every single red candle, you're going to get wrecked, especially when the market decides a downtrend. But if you wait for the volume, the 3 C's, chances are, probability says, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Big green candle, no volume. Don't go without me, bro. Don't go without me. Don't go without me. Bounce off yesterday's highs. What on ES? Which name bounced off yesterday's highs? NQ? I mean, yesterday's post-market highs, yeah. Yeah. Right before they settlement close. Still no volume spike, though, which is okay. 5-minute bottom wick right into the closure of the imbalance from PPI. So, yesterday I posted this chart pattern, and I said, "Is this bullish?" Do y'all see my charts now? Let me switch over. Change stream. One sec. Stupid freaking Discord. All right. So I posted this chart pattern, and I asked, "Is this bullish or bearish?" And this should be a teaching lesson. That is a, look at that, no volume support, failed. This is a bearish or a bullish pattern. There's a difference between this, which is a bearish pattern, and this, which is a bullish pattern. When you have a flat top like this, that is a bullish pattern. That is absorption. That is a range contraction into a supply, absorb, and then break. And now we're coming on down for the retest of approximately 890, which is nearly at the settlement low. So that'll be a great place for support if the buyers are going to hit. This is a bearish pattern because this is buyer exhaustion. This is seller exhaustion. $925, baby. Multiple bottom wicks. We finally have a volume spike here. Are they going to get the move or not? We'll see. $923. If they close the bottom wicks here, I think we'll finally get our big hammer whammy. Maybe even a move back up. We'll see. Trying to. Trying to get the move. Bullish. That's right. That's right. Face ripping loader. Yep, let this thing build, and we'll see if we can get something going here, homies. We'll see if we can get something going. What is going on with this? Oh, that's why. All right, so still holding the morning low here. Bought it back and forth. Choppy, choppy, choppy. What can they do? 921. Multiple bottom wicks into the support. I would like to see, what, 938, maybe 940 clear to get it. So if I can get this hammer to close, we'll play along up to the upside. But we got to get it. They got to get moving. Need some Momo, baby. Need some Momo. Starting to. It's building. They're here. Ascending wedge versus ascending triangle. Correct. So ascending wedge is bearish and ascending triangle is bullish. They may sell the Nvidia rip to buy the dip. That's probably going to happen, yes. probably going to happen. On YouTube, you have those other screens. Hold on a second. There we go. Now we're going bullish. On YouTube, you have those other screens over your chart. So when you're showing the bearish pattern and exhaustion, we couldn't see it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go over it again. Does I ignore the YouTube chat? I do not. Doesn't look like you use the Bookmap at all. Watching a lot. I use Bookmap every single day. Do you see it on my chart? Yeah, I use Bookmap. I just literally talked about it. Interesting. The comments I get on YouTube, it's funny. It's referenced every day. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Still going green, 950. I don't think you talk about position size in candles or trading at all. I don't think you talk about position size. Oh yeah. Nope. All right, 23.94. Look at all that liquidity higher on Bookmap. Man, Bookmap is fantastic. I love Bookmap. There is so much liquidity on Bookmap that I can't even understand. Like, how could you not have Bookmap? Bookmap has 23.975. Also, Bookmap has 24,000. If you look even higher than 24,000 on our Bookmap software, we have Bookmap liquidity at 24.05, 24.064, and 24.075 on Bookmap. Bookmap's on the top left of the screen right there. Speaking of which, today's Wednesday. In 40 minutes, we'll be switching over to the Bookmap stream so we can talk about Bookmap for an hour because it's called the Bookmap stream. Bookmap. Hey, big red candle. Coming on down. Here's the retest of that bullish ascending upper bounds right here. What do we do, baby? What do we do? Volume coming in. Watch, they're gonna hammer the living crap out of this candle. Watch. They're gonna shake and bake that liquidity sweep, and they're gonna hammer it. They're gonna hammer it. A random red candle out of nowhere, supported by volume, they're gonna hammer it. This could be the shake candle to change it up, put it in first gear, and hit the gas. Put it in reverse, Terry. This is the Terry candle. This is the Terry candle. Was that in the VPA book, the Terry candle? Yeah, liquidity sweeps. Yeah. Why is NDX on TradingView not real time? It's behind. You have to sign up for the CME data, the data package. I think it's like $6 a month. Yep. So if you look in the top left of your data, you see this little. You see on my TradingView right here, this little green dot right there. Yours will be yellow, and it'll say a D for delayed. Trade 3Cs only. Look, they just bottom wick that candle because they want people. That's the set in the hook. You've got a beautiful frog popper, top water bait sitting on the or just above the reeds on the water. The fish says, "Oh, that looks good," and then they hammer it. Look what's happening. Quick red candle out of nowhere results in death for bears because they chase it and they get clobbered, and that's how they get you to short the lows. Because when you look back, hindsight's 20/20, right? Holy crap, I should have longed there. But in the throes of things, when you're sitting here watching the candles form in real time, the traders who don't have an edge, who don't know what to do, they chase the red. Holy crap, there's some red. I'm going to chase it, baby. They short, and that happens. You get plowed in the face by a sledgehammer. Nine, three, two. Nine, three, two. Bottom wick, baby. We have very, very minor data top of the hour. Wholesale trade series, 1 star, and then 1030s crude oil. What's up, Callie? How you doing, buddy? Love it, Pastor. I made 20% on my short, now waiting to buy the dip. Beautiful. It's the Whopper Plopper. Hey, man, first time on your stream. What's up, Omar? How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Welcome. Owen's about to go full-blown rush hour. Do not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Yeah. Great movies. Alrighty. Doing great so far. Hero indicator right now shows 360 million puts, 300 million in calls, so we're neck and neck for calls and puts. We have supportive volume. We have a very high volume inflow here at the 951 candle, showing buy the dip into 900. Is this where they're going to go or not? We're going to see. They're trying to make a run for it, but the sellers are sticking to the bottom here, sticking to the morning low. The second we can clear roughly 940, 945, we can start making back up. Until then, they're just sticking down here into support. Got to start extending. We need some momentum. That's right around VWAP. Nice. Wholesale inventories in 3 minutes. Yep. 1 star event. That little sweep was cool to watch with your commentary. Oh, nice, Kyle. Thank you, buddy. You know how I figured that out? Because I've been smashed by that candle about 8 billion times, and I finally learned. I had to touch the hot stove like about 1 billion times before my hand, was all blistered up to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. I figured you had a lucky guess again. Yeah. You know what? You know why? You know how I figured that out? Bookmap. Nice. Love it. So if you are new to the channel, like Omar, my buddy Omar, new buddy, I am looking for what I call the 3 C's. I need high volume, I need a bottom wick, and I need movement over a prior close. On the 5 minute now, we have a small uptick in volume. We have a small bottom wick. Yes, you can go ahead and get in once we get over the 915, but obviously we have this little upside target here that I don't want to enter and get wrecked. So what I would like to do is kind of get over 940 or so and starting to make a move back up to the highs. Literally beat my head against the burning stove every day. Heck yeah. VIX is holding 1480. What's up, Dr. Zay? How you doing? We haven't bought the dip yet, have we? I see increased volume wick looking at ES. Yeah, ES is a lot more bullish than the NASDAQ here. And I haven't taken the buy the dip trade yet, but I'm looking to. Hopefully trying to take the same trade as you today. Oh, don't worry about my trade, bro. Don't worry about my trade. You take your trade. There we go. I don't really see much liquidity higher. No, ES is pretty light. That's why I'm very skeptical of this cat on Bookmap, because he's been all over the place. And even though it's 24,000, I mean, we have like what, almost 3,000 orders collectively on Nasdaq higher, which is a gigantic amount of notional. It's massive. So old me would be pounding the freaking the button trying to lift the ask on this stuff, but he's been acting real weird the past 2 weeks, all over the place, spoofing liquidity left and right. And eventually we get there, but meh. What's going to happen here is they're going to pin this thing down here, shake and bake, and then you're going to have like a candle that you're going to be able to measure with a yardstick here in a second, a green candle. Did I backtest my strategy with some algo? Negative. I don't use algorithms. I'm not that smart. Have I backtested it? Yep. I've been trading this setup for many years. A little bit of green here. Are they going to get this breakout? Right off that same level, man. This 951 level is nuts. Is nuts. But once they take that level out, it's going to go screaming to the high side. Right here is the basis point. Got to get up. Got to get up. Ran out of my K-cup for my Keurig. Stop trading. Nice. I don't care for Keurigs. I don't care for Keurigs. Used to have one. Not anymore. Are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Can they get over this area and rocket ship? Can they do it? And start liquidating? It's such a fluttery candle, though. It's such a fluttery candle. Can you do it? Absorb and go. Absorb and go. That's what we need. Gas pedal. Bunch of jabronis. I think the lack of historical price action is intimidating. No man's land. Well, that's why, you know, just do what we do best, man. Too much plastic in those cups. Yeah. I never trade well at all-time highs. Anyone else? These are the days I sit back and watch. Yeah. Strat is volume price analysis. Yep. There we go. And come on, give me the rocket blast off. I don't know if we're going to get a blast off today with the way things are, but once we clear this area, it's going to be a quick trip to 999 or 24,000. 24,000 is the high here, so we're finally making a move here. We're making a move here. There we go. Now we're going. There's almost always momentum in something, even at the highs, that say to lean towards stronger setups when the market is at its peaks. Think about the V. The right side of the V is what you want to catch, or the right side of the inverse V is what you want to catch. So if you're looking for a short setup, right side of the V. Let the setup present itself. Let the short trade set up. then take it. If you're trying to catch the top on this type of market where it's just relentless, you're going to have a bad time. If you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're going to have a bad time. ES has already taken out the highs of the day. Now they're heading towards pre-market high levels. It's much more bullish than NASDAQ for now, relatively. And it looks like NASDAQ is about to catch up. Hey, Mr. Liquidity just wiped out the books on Bookmap. Chop day, I think is going to bounce around VWAP, possibly. Wouldn't you consider 3Cs that red candle that left that wick at support? The volume here is absolutely 3Cs. Now that we've taken out the highs, we have everything checked for a 3C. How many trading days can I trade an eval on TPT? You have to do it a minimum of 5, but I mean you could take it however many days you need to. You're just going to get rebuild every 30. The minimum is 5 though. $965 going up to 24,000, baby. 24,000. Still going. Any advice on how to improve discipline? One step at a time. One step at a time. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline makes kings. Discipline is only for those who are strong enough to hold it. My question is to you is, do you want to be a winner or do you want to be a loser? A long time ago, I was told, surround yourself with top-notch individuals. If you hang around losers, you're going to be a loser. If you hang around drunks, you're going to be a drunk. If you hang around evil people, you're going to be evil. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals, which I hope this Discord is some of those. That's my intent, is to be around like-minded individuals who are not idiots like everybody else on Twitter. But discipline applies in all facets of life. Do you want to be a stand-up father? Do you want to be a stand-up husband? Do you want to be a servant of God? Do you want to be a good trader? Do you want to be fit? Do you want to do all the things that society says you shouldn't do because you're toxic? That's what you need to do. And all that has to do is you need to decide for yourself. Every single time you get up, if you fail to get up and go to the gym, you're failing yourself. If you fail to implement your system, you're failing yourself. You're failing your family. You're failing your wife and your kids. So you just got to make the decision to do it. It's easy to get caught up in, oh, well, I traded on tilt, woe is me. No, you're not. You're a jabroni. You should take no solace in the fact that, oh, well, stuff happens. So, at some point, all the nonsense, at some point, all of the heartache, all the breaking the keyboards, all the woe is me, I'm so pitiful, all the BS about breaking your rules has got to stop. And you have to make the decision to do that. I'm not saying stop taking losses, because everyone's going to take losses. I take losses all the time. I'm saying if you're going to take a loss, that loss at least has to be constrained within the bounds of your system. Anything more than that, you're breaking your rules. So at some point, you just got to follow your rules. Set a clear set of rules, and you follow them no matter what. No matter what, period. If you're going to go to the gym every day, you go to the gym every day, no matter what. If you're sick, if you got the flu, tough. Get up and go to the gym. If it's 10 degrees outside, tough. Go outside and go for a run. If you've been working for 12 hours a day and you're absolutely exhausted and your kids want you to play with you, kids want to play with you at 5:30 right when you walk in the door, tough. Go play with them. Everything in life. Just do it. You are the average of the 5 people you interact with the most. Yep. Two of my best friends are people that I respect more than anyone in this world because they're better than me at everything. These two dudes are better than me at everything except trading. One of my best friends, the dude is the most fit person I know. Like, absolute beast. He's strong. He can run a 6-minute mile. He hasn't missed the gym in years. He hasn't missed a proper meal and meal. Like he's tracked every one of his meals in my fitness pal. Like he reads his Bible every day. Like he is who I embody myself to want to be. Family man. And it's because I have people like that in my life is why I emulate myself to be like that. So I encourage you to do the same. Find someone in your life that you absolutely look up to, befriend them, and be around them as much as you can. Anyway, that's enough soapboxing. A little bit of red, but they're still bottom wicking everything here at 954. You would be the ideal Bitcoiner with that mindset. Really? I'll look into it. I need to get into it someday. Still buy the dip. I broke my rules on Monday and took a big loss. The last 2 days I had better than average green days. Red days have become easier to handle, but have to remember the market loves to humble you. I force myself to listen and get into everything my two boys are trying to say, even when I don't want to. It's always worth it. Definitely. Consistency, that's right, Krish. 100%. SEAL Team 8 guy on YouTube says I want to be physically strong and mentally tougher than any adversary. 100%, especially if you're a father. Especially if you're a father. Or a mother. Or a mother. Retesting the same level that we wanted to break out on for upside. Right here. We have 990 million in calls, 143 million puts. Puts sold. Puts sold. Right here. Come on, Dan. Is it eval 30 days or 30 trading days? 30 days. Billing. The billing is every 30 days, but you could take longer to pass it. It's just you're going to get rebilled for it. I love him, Vampire. I love him. Dan's my boy. There was an interview where a child predator said he picked kids based upon seeing their parents as weak. 100%. 100%. Now more than ever, man, this society demands that you have to be strong. Gotta be strong. Can't be one of these weak soy boys. Get under some squats, baby. $23,962 right here, baby. 962. Still going. Love it. Any trades? Absolutely. It has not been easy, and I take way more of my share of failures. Finding the server and working on my personal discipline and OM's teachings is a heartfelt thank you. Slowly getting to passing take time. I love it, Dave. Thank you, buddy. I love y'all being here. It's good stuff. Sorry about the number. It's always green. No, that's fine. In fact, whatchamacallit? What's his name? Some jabroni just DM'd me and asked me if he could post a one-time profit screenshot. And I was like, well, I know you're a big jabroni, but I'm going to let him do it this one time because it's got a good message attached to it, and it's good intent. And he DM'd me to ask me first, so I'm going to let him do it. Now, this guy's a massive jabroni, but I'm going to let him do it. Can I show the trace? I can show the trace. Right here. Let me hit refresh to make sure I got up to speed data. $65.75 is next liquidity now that we've absorbed 50, or I'm sorry, 500, and then after that we have 66.40, homie. 66.40. probably Trader J. Trader J's my boy too, man. I'm super proud of that guy. Super proud of that guy. Great place to start is a book called The Big Print. Okay, I'll write it down. Thank you. Is it smarter to renew or just buy a brand new one? It depends on the balance. Like if you're right up against the balance to pass, then just continue to trade it. If it's like already blown, then whatever. Just do whatever you think is best, man. The next podcast I'm releasing either today or tomorrow, it might get released today, maybe, is going to be the mindset around prop firms. Not prop firms specifically, but how to go about doing them. And I want you to approach it from, it's the whole point of that podcast is going to be approach prop firms from a business mindset. Not, oh, I blew up my account, my one little account. Is your goal is to put together a team of employees, which are funded accounts, and exploit them. Stop thinking about the $10,000 trade, the $10,000 win, the $10,000 payout or whatever, the $2 million payout. Forget about all that. Your goal is to put together a team of employees and then have more employees waiting in the ranks, which are past evals. You want to pass more evals, have them waiting in the ranks, and the funded accounts are where you draw money out of, to farm funds out of those accounts. And if you blow one out, who cares? Go back to the other ones. When will you give out another 50K account? Let's do one today. Heck, let's do two today. Let's do two. I'll do two 50K account giveaways today. Maybe tomorrow, just to finish the week off, tomorrow's Thursday. Maybe to finish the week off, we'll do a couple of 150K accounts for my beautiful Tier 2 peeps. Here, let me make a post. Trading discussion. Right there. All right. I feel like prop firms are casinos. You see the counting cards, they'll get a brush. You'll get the brush back. Well, as long as you're not using algos or any kind of software, then you should be fine. I've never had any problems with my payouts with any company except for Apex. So, am I still in a trade? I am. We haven't had any 3C short opportunity yet. Until I see a 3C to support a short, I stay in the trade. Right now we have no high volume. We did have a very small top wick that immediately hammered back up with no volume. So until I see a 3C short opportunity, I remain long. Or until I stop out. Wild man, you throwing out 50K accounts like Oprah. You get a count. Does this look like absorption to go higher? Maybe. There's no volume, so, I mean, it is the ascending wedge. Or, I'm sorry, the ascending triangle, which is a bullish chart. So, I mean, not to say it won't sell off here because I don't trade patterns. But we don't have any volume. So, if it takes out 2 or 949, I'll probably stop out of the trade because I don't want to give that back. But I want to give this an opportunity to at least track the opening high. Even if I give back some profit, I'm okay with that. Tilt indicator 71% long. It kind of scares me. Kind of scares me. Holding right here, baby. Holding right here. Still going, as long as it's still holding. The second I see a volume spike, that's when I'll tighten up. But, yeah. Wrap it up. Oh, yeah. My top step is locked for the day. TPT is the only thing left. Beautiful. Come on, baby. Oh, there it is. No fun, no kung fu for you. The guy. That's where the guy's waiting. The guy's waiting. He eats up that political talk. I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yesterday, I screwed up a stop loss setting on credit spread. Instead of buying it back to close, I accidentally set it to just sell another one. Mistake actually went in my favor. Nice, Chris. Well, I'm glad it worked out for you. Where am I long from? 945, right where I said we were going to break the upside. Once it breaks the upside, I'm in. Do you still update us, jabronis, with your LT portfolio? A-firm. Now, I will tell you, the long-term portfolio activity is about to go up a lot. In the next probably 12 months, you're about to see a lot more activity with my long-term portfolio if what I think happens actually starts to happen. With the 50K account, how many ES contracts do you take at once? I would, man. 50K accounts, I would say one mini is max, what you even need to consider, and even that's stretching it. Because a 50K account, what's the drawdown on that? 2,000? 2,500? I mean, one bad trade and you're going to get wiped. Or you're going to at least wipe out half of it, and then another bad trade and you're done. So, I mean, again, the next podcast episode I'm going to talk about is I'm going to go into that stuff. Yeah. I tell you what, man. Ever since I signed up for the stupid what's it called, the Robbins Cup, those dudes have been emailing me off the hook. Like literally 10 emails a day from these people. Is there a minimum you have to make profit on prop accounts? Well, yes. So TakeProfitTrader, you have to make the minimum balance back up before you can take withdrawals. And they do that to create a buffer. So like the 150K accounts, you have to make $4,500 before you could take a payout on your funded accounts. So you make $4,500. Anything more than that is your money. So what I like to do with my funded accounts and now in my live account, I trade very conservatively, very smallly until I get to that 4,500 buffer. And then my mindset changes. I go on from protection mode to expansion mode. I go from safety to more risky and more prosperity. Which means I know in my mind, any cent over 4,500 is mine. Obviously, I've got the 90-10 split, but that's fine. Anything over 4,500 is my money. So, and that's where I start thinking, all right, well, I need to hit the gas a little bit and start making this money in. And then I lock in, meaning with my stops, I lock out on top step, do whatever I have to do. When I hit a dollar amount, I lock out, and then once the settlement closes, I wake up the next day, I pull the money out. 1,000, 500, 200, whatever the money is. Still going, baby. Still going. If we could take out the 975, the 975 will be the 949 or the 940 of this market. 940 was the high. This 976 here, if they take this out, we will take out the high of the day, or at least test the high of the day. So if you're long, I'm telling you, trust the process. Trust the 3 C's. Let the 3 C's tell you when to get out of your long position and or move your stop. So I'm remaining long until I see a high volume spike. 50 to 80% of the 4,500 is also yours if you ever cash out. That's, yeah, great point, Alex. Axis. Good stuff. I like getting with 3 and add up to winners to 12. I don't like the dollar cost average. I'd rather take the L. 100%. I like it. We need to do a podcast. I need to get you on the podcast, dude. Trade Smalton. I'm asking for a payout and didn't want to go below the certain dollar amount. Locked it up. Beautiful. Still going green. Only one of the jokers have liked the stream so far. What's up, Seth? Thanks, buddy. All right, here we go. 982. We're coming up to high of the day, baby. We're coming up to high of the day. Usually when I dollar cost average, I end up wanting to shave it to break even. I never get my bigger wins. Well, usually when you're dollar cost averaging, that's what you're praying for, right? There are no atheists holding losing positions. I'll tell you that. So when you're down, you know, big time, and you're dollar cost averaging, you're praying to whoever will listen at that point. And once you finally see that break even point, you're desperate to get out. I know that's you, Math. I know it's you. I know my boy. I'll call you. We need to talk about some bees soon, man. I'll be honest with you, though. I'm scared to get too close to anyone on the server to like talk to them, because 100% of the time I give someone my phone number and talk to them, they turn out to be an absolute psychopath. So maybe it's me. Maybe I'm very, very, very scared. There are some lunatics on the internet, people. I don't know. I know it's hard to believe that there's lunatics on the internet, but holy crap, there's some lunatics on the internet. Where'd No Kung Fu go? He's stuck in here and got out. Hold on a second. I'll do the no Kung Fu bat call. Man, how about Donald Trump? He's amazing, isn't he? Where's he at? Wait for it. He's a schmuck. Got out. I'm such a troll. I don't actually think that YouTube relax. I was calling somebody out. I don't talk politics here. You need to pick people like me. I'm terrible at remembering to text. There you go, PB&J. So am I. Right now I've got 51 notifications on my text messages simply because I rarely check them. I check like one message thread and my wife, and that's it. Butters. You never answer my texts as much as I can. Hey, I used your tomato mill machine last night. I milled up 45 pounds of tomatoes. The thing is beautiful, worth every penny. Worth every penny. There's a huge block of liquidity lower on ES. What do you say about that when you do ignore liquidity versus target? All right, let's take a look. That's a great question. So for me, I identify what's called skew. Skew is when the book is heavily skewed to one side. And I do have to hurry this up because I have to switch over to Bookmap here. When the data is heavily skewed to one side, like this, for example, I have to look for the market to go up to it. Maybe not straight to it instantly, but eventually it's going to creep up to these levels. So I identify where is the book heavily skewed, and I mean big. Yes, most of the liquidity is low to 65.37 on ES, but that is small potatoes. 100 orders is nothing. That's some dude using his daddy's money. That's not a big hedge fund. Or it could be, but it's just small. So for me, I want to identify the massive liquidity shifts. Most of the time, Bookmap doesn't really drive a big edge. It's just it allows me to be situationally aware. But the times that Bookmap that pays for itself is when I have a massive amount of liquidity that I wouldn't otherwise know about. So, All right, y'all, I do have to hang this up, and I have to switch over to Bookmap. Today's Bookmap 9:30. So you'll see the stream turn off. In about 45 seconds, you'll see the stream turn back on, and we'll be on Discord, and I will post the links in the Discord server. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you get notifications for when I go live. So, all right. I'm still going to remain long despite this little red candle, and I'm going to see if I can capture high of the day until I see a volume spike. Right now, we don't have volume yet. All right, I'm out.